I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this show.
The sickest night ever. Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host, wannabe rapper, and I am totally wishing I was on a beach in Cali right now.
Oh my.
Oh my. Alongside me, as always, my good friend, Colton Keel, or as I like to call him, Juan Keel 43.
That's right.
What's up, Colton?
Dude, man, not much. Just chilling. I'm on my fantasy football grind right now. If you can't tell, it's a little bit brighter in the stage over here, so I'm got the dualies going right now, and it's going really well. First draft, the draft I'm in your league with, went well. I thought I like my team a lot in that.
That's good.
Currently drafting in another one, so and then I've got one tomorrow I run a work fantasy football league, so I've got that tomorrow night.
Dang, you are fantasying out. Now, for everybody listening, this will be a few weeks in the future, so the actual NFL season would have started by now. We're going to be 2 weeks in.
And the Bears are undefeated.
Yeah. This is the look of belief. Many of you have seen the look of belief on the Call Guys before. We all know how that looks. So
I hate this team.
Yeah. So that introduction, Colton, I'm assuming you know why I said I'm a wannabe rapper and I'm wishing I was in California right now, because on tonight's episode, he's not here yet, but he will be here soon. My boy, Conrad Jon, is going to come on for an interview. We're going to talk to him about his career, the future of his career. We're going to talk a little bit about football. We're going to talk about his love for music and really whatever else he wants to talk about. So look forward to that. He's going to be popping in here in a little bit to talk with us. I know he's busy. He's actually at work right now, so he's going to spend some time with us during his busy schedule to come in and just chit-chat, talk a little bit about everything. So yeah, so it's all fun, and fun. I'm ready. I'm excited to have him on. I know we've talked about it for months now, having him on here. So Colton's first interview on the Call Guys.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to meet your boy.
I mean, I would say the Murdnerds were kind of an interview, but not really. It was more of a kind of a loosey-goosey.
Yeah. I think this one will be a little bit better.
I mean, I hope so. We'll see. You know what? Here in just a little bit, you'll know. We'll know. We'll all know. It's going to be a good time. Colton, how was your week? It's kind of early in the week for me to be asking you how your week's been going.
It is kind of early. It's going good. I know at the time we're recording this, it's the week after Labor Day, but by the time this drops, it will not be. So, yeah.
How was your dad's week? I know weekend. I know you talked about doing that.
Oh, it was good. It was good, man. Had a lot of fun. Hung out with the family. He loves hanging out with the kid, and the kid loves him. So it was a good time. That's good. Had by all. So yeah, just really excited. I'm actually really excited about this interview.
I can tell you're like giddy. You're like moving around. I think you're kind of nervous.
Man, I think it's between this fantasy draft and this interview, because I don't know that many. Like, I know like some basketball dudes, but I don't know like any music, like legit musical dudes. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious just to learn about like the process and how like he got from how he got from like Funcy to LA.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, a little bit of background about Conrad before he even comes on here, and we'll talk a little bit about how we met, I'm sure. But like, I kind of met him out of nowhere because we had classes together at Ball State. So, I mean, I've only known him for 6 years, and we were never that close, but I've really kept up with his rapping career ever since I left and learned that he was a rapper. We had a couple classes together. We recorded a couple bands together. So we did a bunch of stuff together, but I never really got to know him. I knew he was an Eagles fan. I knew he loved music. I didn't know he was a rapper in college. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a super exciting episode altogether, interview, all that good stuff. I'm probably just as nervous as you are, to be honest with you. I haven't talked to him in so long. I think it's probably gonna turn into like a reunion. So
That's cool. That's
we'll
cool.
see.
You guys chat it up.
But I really hope you have some preparations and you're ready for this because it's gonna be a fun time.
I will be as ready as I'll ever be, brother.
Yes, but yeah, so Conrad will be here in a little bit, and I'm excited. But before Conrad comes in and sits down and talks to us, Colton, I do have a question on the pod for you.
Ooh, what's that? What's that?
And
What's that
since
question?
since this episode's really gonna be about music mostly, I'm assuming, depending on how this interview goes, I have a musical question of the pod.
Let's hear it.
I'm not gonna sing it, but I'm gonna read
Ooh.
it.
Read it. Read it to me.
If you could choose any instrument to learn how to play, what would you choose and why?
It'd be the piano.
That's good.
I would love to learn the piano. I love the sound of the piano. I feel like you can write the way you can write music with the piano. I feel like it can just flow, and it's just a piano. You can just it'd be one of those fun things just to like vibe to and just kind of just play as you go and hang out. And I think it'd be awesome. That's what I would do. That's what I would want to do at least.
That's been one of those instruments I've always watched people play. And if you're a really good piano player, like just the movement of the hands and being able to just memorize where keys are at by feel, it's like typing on a keyboard. If you can do it without looking and type fast, 200, whatever the max words per minute is somebody's ever typed, if you can do that and not even think about it, right? We've spent our whole lives thinking like learning the keyboard because that's our generation. Now, the piano is just so different because everything looks the same. There's no spot to feel for your fingers to set, and you're always constantly moving side to side. I've always wanted to learn how to play piano. I've never had the time and commitment to do it because I
I could
feel
see
like
that.
it's years of practice to get good at piano. Like I could do the same thing, like what you did in guitar, where you were learning blink riffs, right? I
Yep.
could learn how to play the Michael Myers theme song, or like I'm loving it, McDonald's, like little stuff. Mary had a little lamb, like things like that. Like that's just things that are set simple, but like anything else above that, count me out. Count me out. I had a Linkin Park song one time actually.
Yeah, it was in the end. Do 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 do
Mm,
do 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 do.
No,
It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It
I'd have to
doesn't
go
get no
back.
matter how hard you try.
I'd have to go back and actually like play it to Alexa so she can tell me what song it is. Hey Alexa, what song is this? And play it and see if she can tell me, because I can never remember the name of the song. It just thought it was super catchy. But
Mm.
yeah, piano, that's good.
Yeah, I'd pick piano, brother. What would you do?
Um, I'm gonna say the cello.
Cello.
Cello, you got a bass. Um, I've always thought the cello had a beautiful tone to it, and it's a stand up bass, right? I mean, that's what people call it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing as a bass, but you have your, oh god, what's the string called? I can't think of what's called. A bow. Is it
Oh
called a
yeah,
bow?
bow.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I've always thought it was just interesting to watch people play the cello and how into it people get, and like, um, what's the Apocalyptica, a band of all cellos, like,
Mm.
and a metal band at that. Like watching them play is just one of those things. It's like that's amazing the sounds they can get. They distort it. They do all this stuff to their cellos. I always thought the cello was a really cool instrument, and just the way it sounds, whether it's in movies or behind music. The one band that really sticks out to me besides Apocalyptica is Starset. they actually have a cellist and a violinist up on the stage at all times playing, and they just like are back and forth the whole time. And I've seen them twice. I've seen them unplugged, and I've seen them full everything. And both times, man, if those two weren't there, they're two girls and they have their own pedestals they stand on either side of the stage. If those two weren't there, the music would not be the same. And violin obviously is a really awesome instrument, but the cello, just the tone of it, man, just gets you every time. I think I've sent you a couple of their songs before, but
I think you have.
I just really enjoy the cello as an instrument altogether. So
I mean, I like you, kind of like what you said. If I had to pick another one, I think I'd do violin.
yeah.
Just for like Yellow Card, and
Mm-hmm.
like that was a cool live show I saw with them, and I was like, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, there's tons of bands out there that haven't like an orchestra behind them, but it's so subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Those bands that bring it up front and use it as something that is just a main part of all their music, props, because that is amazing and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, hey, Conrad. Haha, I'm high now. Oh, 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 hey. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, everybody, we got Conrad Jon in the house. Conrad, Connor, CJ. I don't even know now that we've talked about it.
It's confusing, right?
Yeah. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's living the life. It's hot as hell out here right now. It's like been 100 degrees like every day this weekend.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're not that bad. We're not that bad.
But you don't get humidity, so it's also like, take one, the other. Like I had my homie up in Florida. I was like, is that 100 degrees there too? And he was like, yeah. But the difference is that their humidity is like 80%. Our humidity is like 40.
Yeah, they're sweating. They're sweating the whole time. You got a dry sweat going.
Exactly. More of a sauna versus a steam room.
yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
So what you been up to, man? I let's go back. Let's kick it back because I haven't seen you in like what?
4 years.
4 years? That's what I was gonna say. 4
years. A little bit more, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And to be honest, like I'm like, does he even remember who I am? Because it's we had classes together. We did what audio.
Yeah, I have a very vivid memory though. Like I remember like a lot of stuff when I was like young. Like I definitely remember everybody. I could probably name 5 or 6 people that were in our class. Like that I still kind of keep up with. But like you remember Max Reedinger?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday was his birthday. I talked to him, so I still keep in touch with him a lot.
Nice.
He's actually, bro. He works for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, we're gonna get into some football talk here in a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
We'll get that in.
He works for the Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm assuming video.
He runs their jumbotron.
Dude,
kind of shit.
That's awesome,
right?
Yeah.
He runs he works on the jumbotron and does like some audio stuff as well. He'll send me videos of him. Like he just met Aaron Donald the other day. He's like Aaron Donald walked up to him and it's crazy because he was talking about how big he is, but Aaron Donald's only like 6 foot. So like the fact that he's just like that strong that he's still like perceived as a big person is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
because he's pretty small for like an NFL interior lineman.
Yeah. That's insane. Jumbotron operator for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Pretty dope.
Put that on your resume.
That'd
be sick. But that's good. I'm glad. Dude, I've been following you since I figured out you were a rapper, which was actually after we graduated college. like I was like, no way, he's a rapper, because we recorded bands together. Like we recorded Indian Old School.
Yeah.
And we had
Those
that whole
are some
class
of my good
together.
friends.
Yeah.
They just dropped their last album actually, probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
They're all having kids and shit. So
yeah, I try to keep up with them too, but I like once again, I like Spotify is either metal or Conrad Jon.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
We actually dropped a video together. I have a video at Indian Old Squid. Some dropped sometime this year. I did it last year during Christmas. We linked up because I grew up with all those guys. Like I know their dad even, they're all brothers. But yeah, they're super talented. They're actually, crazy enough, they're the first people I've ever written a song with. Before I ever was even a rapper or anything. Like, I wrote a rock song with them when I was just staying the night at their house. It was probably like 7th grade.
That's awesome.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about how did you get started into rapping? If that was the first time you ever recorded a song before you were a rapper.
Yeah, that was the first time I wrote a song. We didn't record it. I remember we woke
Okay.
up the next morning. We were like, "This is some bullshit." It was like a corny little love song. It was so bad. But we also we had I went to Lapel in 8th grade, and actually I went to Lapel with all them too, and they ended up staying there. But I went there in 8th grade, and I hated it, and I just had to. It was like one of those. I just didn't really. I don't know. It was too whitewashed for me, I guess. You know, like I need something with like nothing to happen. People would like blow up drama that's not even really drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was that kind of shit where I don't know. I just from more of a rough crowd, and I'm used to that more. So I went there, and I was just really bored in class one day, and I just started like making fun of people in class, like rapping, I guess. And somebody's like, "You're kind of good at that." And then I just started messing around with it on my phone. And this is like the same time I really dove into the genre as well. Like it was when I was really into like Kid Cudi and Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was like my Jesus of rap.
He was God. Yep.
And this is like the no ceilings era. So like Lil Wayne was just the awesome, like just on top of the game. And anyway, I just kind of did it as a joke. And then I got a webcam about the next year. And then I was just like, dude, I'm going to just start putting myself out there. Like, fuck it. People can hate it if they want, but at least I'm enjoying it. And so I just started, you know, recording videos on my Facebook and posting them. And to this day, you can still go to my Facebook and they're still, I keep them up to like inspire myself to be like, damn, like you was trash, bro.
Yeah.
But that's how I started. Then somebody hit me up on Facebook, some dude I went to school with. I didn't really know him, but he was like, I have a studio, come through. And he made me a beat, and we, you know, the rest is I just started taking it a little bit more serious. But yeah, it all just kind of snowballed each other. But I just started putting myself out there, and eventually somebody asked you to do a show. Eventually somebody asked you to record, you know, with them. That's why I always try to tell people, like, dude, you got to put yourself out there. You got to go to other shows, support other people.
Yeah.
You know, or nobody's gonna know. Like, you can be the best rapper ever, but if people don't even know you rap, then what good is that?
Yeah. And you played Be Here Now quite a few times, right? In Muncie?
Yeah. I probably played that venue 50 times. Maybe not that many, but probably at least 30.
Yeah.
But hold on, let me delete this. Someone's trying to FaceTime me. Are we good?
FaceTime. Yeah. Hey,
I don't know who was trying to. I don't even have that number. That's why I was like, don't FaceTime me. But but anyway, yeah, I worked to Be Here Now. Actually, I'd played so many shows there that they asked me to work there. They was like, "Do you want to host open mic night?" And that was cool for me because, you know, I got to actually run some live sound. So, you know, went to school for. I was like, oh, I can actually use what I'm learning in school. So that was the way I looked at it. I was like, I can be an entertainer and, you know, run some live sound. And they gave me free drinks. So it was a win-win-win.
Yeah, that was my favorite part about playing Be Here Now, because I was in the Kill Goals while we were in college, and
yeah,
they took
care of you
every time. It was like, you come up to the bar,
and the bartenders, the bartenders are so cool too. They only fucking hire cool bartenders. I swear, I've never met a bartender at Be Here Now I didn't like. But that's Whitney. I don't know if you know the owner. He's just a pretty odd, cool character. You know, he's one of those guys that he's not gonna say shit to you, but when he has something to say, like, listen. Like, I remember he said this one time where, like, he's never had a fuck conversation with me. He's just a person I knew over the time. And like, the first thing he said to me, like, he knew who I was because I worked for him, but he never talked to me. And he came up to me and he was like, you know, people always say life's unfair, but it's equally unfair for everybody. So in a way, it's kind of fair. And I was like, damn, bro, it's a prophet.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll just never forget that.
That's
I still go back every time I do a show in Indiana. It's always to Be Here Now. So I don't know if I'll make it. I'm going back at the end of this month. I don't have anything lined up, but I could probably figure something out for December or something. I don't know. I always like to go back there. It's like my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, I'll have to watch your Facebook and see.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll make my way down.
Keep people updated with it. Where you at now?
Still in northern Indiana. So
We're at
Plymouth. It's about 2
Okay.
hours north 2 hours north of Funcy, Anderson. So
Is that like the region?
See?
it's
No,
about
it's
an hour
not.
about an hour east of the region.
Okay.
Yep.
I got a lot of friends in LA that are from the region, like Hammond area and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But
Yeah. It's like a really popular, well, I guess it's probably like the most populated area besides Indy, really, if you think about
yeah,
that
you'd be
whole area
surprised
thing.
at how many people from Indiana are out in LA too. It's kind of odd.
Everybody wants to get out of this crap
I think
weather.
that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's right. So I did have a question. I mean, if you go back to when you did start, did you have like some big influences other than Lil Wayne, Kid Cudi, and all them? Was there anybody, any family member, person that really influenced you?
Man, I don't really have a musical family at all. I was raised to be like a sport. Like my dad's a coach, still coaches baseball to this day. It's something I really did pick up on my own. The only influence I could say I had in my family would be my grandma, who's like the only grandma I ever knew, but she's not like my blood grandma even, you know. So like even then it's not even in the genes. But she played at a church, you know, and she played about every instrument. And I would go over to my grandpa's house and she would have, you know, an organ next to a piano, next to a harp, a steel guitar. She had every instrument. And they're just, you know, as a kid, they're just toys to me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like playing with them and stuff. And she always told me that I picked up music fast and that I have some underlying musical talent. And she told me that from like probably about 10 years before I even started making music, you know. But she's the one that, I mean, she's probably the only other person that ever did say anything about it beforehand.
Hey, I mean, you've taken your hidden genes and at least done something with it. And
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
yeah, that's cool. And I'm assuming your parents are all for it at this point. Like they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are. I feel like my dad's such just a realist, stubborn person that he doesn't believe in anything that doesn't put food on the table to an extent. You know what I mean? Like making it, you can be a good, like I feel like I'm pretty well respected, but I'm not making a living off of it. You know what I mean? It's definitely something and like to like somebody who's as old fashioned as my dad, it's like, oh, if you're not making money and living off of it, then what's the use? You know, like, so yes and no, he does support it. He lets me do my own thing and stuff, but I don't think he really understands it, more or less. I don't mean that in any way, like any derogatory way. It's just, that's my dad. He's a sports guy.
Yeah. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. Here's kind of an off the wall question. Favorite lyric you've ever written?
Ooh, that's a good question, man. I got so many.
You got so many good lyrics.
I'm trying to think. I got so many that like I write and I'm like, ooh, that one hits different. Let me think. You know, I'm gonna just do one that's ironic because I'm such I was always a lyricist. Okay, like before I even could flow, I was always like, let me put my pride into my lyrics and like let me make them mean something. But I didn't know how to flow for a while, and then once I learned how to flow, I had to realize that like you can't have every line be like a lyric you need to think about. You need to have a couple lines before that to build that up, and then a couple lines after that for them to think about it. Because if you just give line after line, you're just going to overwhelm somebody. So I had this one line in a song called Minefields, and I hated it, right? Because it wasn't lyrical. And every time I did a show though, everybody knew that line. And the lyric was, I just put lean on the blunt though. The dumbest, the worst of my lines. But every time I performed it, people would be like, I just put lean on the, like, that's the one line that they knew. And because it was so simple. And so I had to learn how to like dumb myself down from that. So like, that's not my all-time favorite lyric. But at the same time, it taught me a lot as an artist. It's like, oh, it's okay to have lines like that. And now I'll have, you know, sometimes I'm okay with writing a song that's not that lyrical. Yeah. And that's just kind of how it's going. My buddy's getting the fucking phone call. Mad. Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. So, I mean, yeah, when I feel like that is pretty important to have lyrics in there, especially something catchy. And that's not even like
Yeah.
something that like pops out, sticks out catchy, but a lot of your music does have a lot of like really good catchy, whether it's the chorus or just lines, especially like the first 4 lines of Ajou are like my
Yeah.
favorite lines that you've written of all time, you know? And
Really?
every time I play them, even my wife, she sings them along with me too. She's like,
That's
we get
crazy.
in the car, I'm playing Conrad Jon. She's like, Conrad Jon again? I'm like, yeah.
What are my first 4 lyrics? See, that's how much music I make. I'm like,
Whip it real hard like a race car.
yeah, okay.
GTA Squad, I'm a 5-star.
I'm a 5-star.
Yeah. Is it mop the floor with the pine saw?
Yeah.
Yep. Pussy boy, probably take my doll.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So see, it's funny because I have this whole. Let me go to this to my notes because I do this all the time. Like I write my notes down and like lines to be written. So like every time I'm writing, I'm always have a couple lines that are like I need to put in there.
Yeah.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Like yesterday, I was writing one. It was fold the money never under pressure. All your idols soon to be your competition. Treat a fountain like a coin star, cause bitch, I got me 1,000 wishes. I like that one.
That's good. That's
It's
good.
good.
Just little simple ones.
Podcast now turned into Conrad reading all his lyrics. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll cut it together.
I didn't grow up near the nap town where we walked the canal for the scenery. Used to stay up during nap time just to look around and see who sleep on me.
Nice. I like
Just
it.
simple stuff. Yeah.
That's fun though. You just think of something, write it down.
That's the thing is like anything can be your inspiration, like I could be watching the show and hear somebody say like just a word even, and then you can spin off of that. And there's so many things you can do with it,
Yeah. So let's talk about, I call them your Sunday songs. The songs you've been releasing every Sunday. What did you call them again?
Atomic Sunday. But yeah,
Sunday.
Sunday drops, whatever.
Yeah. So let's talk about it because you've been putting them out for what? Like
10 weeks.
Yeah.
10 weeks,
Is this going to be the album? Are those songs going to be the album? Or are there going to be
No.
Okay, I was going to say, I wasn't sure.
No. This song is just to hype up the album. Or all those. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. I have so much music, Gunner. Like I have like, here's the thing. This album I'm about to drop, that's me and Tuna's album. Me and Tuna have another album after that already done. I have a whole Rager album with this Polish producer that's kind of like the hyper trap kind of stuff. And then I have a whole like Mac Miller-esque, very vibey album. All of those are pretty much done. I'm still just recording tracks. Then I had all these other tracks that I didn't know where the fuck they were going to go. And that is Atomic Sunday.
Okay.
That's also the origins of Ivar Ave too, was songs I didn't know they're not throwaways, but they didn't belong necessarily on an album, I guess you could say. And I crafted them. And then I started, I had a couple songs. I'm like, these fit together. And then I'll start recording a couple tracks, a couple cuts will just come fresh for the album. But Atomic Sundays was essentially, I'm trying to let y'all know that I'm putting in work right now. And there's about to be a lot more music dropping from me. Just trying to, throw my name around a little bit more. And that's why there's no relevancy to each song where it's like, oh, this song fits. Like each song is its own vibe, It's not trying to fit a specific realm of music.
Yeah. What do you got? For My Team, Self-Celebrating, and Hoosier from Mars. Those are 3 of my favorites of your Sunday drops that you've done.
Yeah. Hoosier from Mars is the Bob. I almost did a video for that.
Dude, it's so good. I love that song.
Yeah, it's fun to perform. It's really like, it's just triplet flow. So it's like, I don't know, people, it's easy to get the people going with for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really my main question is like, I'm like, he's releasing all these. Is this going to be the album? But I'm glad you cleared that up because.
No, I have 14 tracks that me and Tuna have, unreleased. We've worked for probably about, I've been working on it for about like 2 years crafting, and we've done a lot of like final cuts and stuff. But it's ready to go. It really is. And it's going to be nice. It's going to be called Fully Frosted.
Nice.
It's going to be a follow-up to Slightly Sauced. And
nice.
It's dope. It's going to have some really cool tracks. I'm going to have 2 videos for it I know of off rip. One of them's already done. It's a really dope video, actually. And then the other one's going to be more of a on-the-fly kind of thing. But I'll probably drop it the day of the album, just, give people a visual.
Yeah.
It's got 2 features on it. One of them is my buddy Cedric, and then he's like a singer. He sings on, I think it's the second to last song. And then on the second song, it's my buddy. He's a Brooklyn rapper. His name is Holly Starks.
Nice.
And yeah, he's in our collective group. He actually has a kid with RZA's daughter from Wu-Tang Clan. So hopefully he hears the song some way.
Yeah. The whole album, man. Hopefully he hears the whole album.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited for anything you put out, and this album is something I've been like looking forward to. Looking forward to hear. So
me and Tuna really make he's my like, as if Freddie Gibbs has Mad Lib, he's my Mad Lib. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I still like to make music with other people, but me and Tuna just have something different.
Yeah. How'd you meet him?
This is a funny story. All right. So when I came out here to LA, I transferred jobs because I didn't have anything. Like, I really came out here on the fly. I just got the opportunity and I put my 2 weeks in the next day. But I needed a job out here just to make sure, I can make ends meet for, the first couple months. So I transferred to Jimmy John's because I already worked there in Indiana. So I transferred to Jimmy John's, and it's all bike riding here. And I'm like, just meeting people through work somewhat because I'm in Hollywood. Yeah. And some dude came to the store, and there's a music school probably about a couple blocks down the street. And he's like, yo, they're having a rap concert tonight. And he's like, yo, you should come to it. And then I was like, I don't have shit going on. So like, I just went to it I didn't have shit going on. And then in between sets, they're playing these really hard ass rap beats and nobody's rapping on them. And like, it's already kills me to go to a show and not be able to perform. But like, when you do that, like play the hard rap beats and nobody's rapping over them, that like, I'm like, I could snap on these right now. So I ran up on stage and took the mic and I started rapping over them. They happened to be Tuna's beats. And I linked up with him the next day, and the rest is history.
Nice. That's insane.
Yeah, I crashed the stage. I really did. It wasn't even my show or nothing. I didn't know anybody there.
Right on. Colton, you got any music questions?
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I had a buddy of mine. He's pretty good with just coming up with lyrics and stuff like that. And he tried to get me to do it, and I just cannot. I cannot get the flow down. I can't get anything down. So just to hear how you come up with stuff and how you do stuff, that's really, really cool. So I'm just sitting back and watching and listening. So I'm more of I've got some more sports questions for you. But but just listening to you, it's just to listen. I just really enjoy it.
Thank you.
So
it's something that once you like really figure it out, like once it's like, I can't imagine not doing it now. You know what I mean? Like, it's ingrained in my brain. Like, it's a process that I don't think I'll ever get rid of. But
that's a good thing, though. I mean,
yeah, it's
you're
a great
constantly
thing.
doing it. You're just gonna keep writing, man.
It is.
So the biggest hard hitter is, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? Man,
it's a good question too, because I just want to be able to shine a light on like hidden talents. And I feel like Indiana itself definitely, like, if I were to make it, I would want to, I want to do my own thing for a while, but I'd essentially want to like be able to shine a light on up and coming artists and stuff like that. And I feel like if I had the connections already to do that, then why not? So I really like to do something with that and like, be able to help like the youth and stuff. And I feel like there's a lot of good artists that come out of Anderson even. And so like when I meet people there, I always try to shine a light on them as well. So I want to do that. I don't need to be the most rich and famous person, but if I can make a living off my music and have my own little cult fan base, that's enough for me. So I don't try to put limits on anything though, because of like, if something were to blow up, I'm probably going to run with that as well. But at the same time, it's like, I've thought about what I've wanted out of it, and I don't have to be the biggest star ever. Like, that's okay with me. If I could just make a living off of it and, feed the fam a little bit, and yeah, that'd be cool for me. So we'll see where it goes. I have enough music to give people for a long time though. I know that. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to stop anytime soon.
Hey, as long as you're enjoying it and you're having a good time, and you and Tuna are making those awesome songs, man, I'm in. I'll be a part of that cult fan base. So
yeah.
All right, I got a couple random things for you,
All right.
and one of them, and Colton probably gonna jump in on this one. How are the Eagles gonna do this year?
Dude, it all comes down to Jalen Hurts. All
Yeah.
comes down. You know what though? I was looking at our schedule yesterday. Our schedule is not that hard. I think we could start off 4-0 pretty easily. Because we face like the Lions, the Commanders, just a bunch of like rinky-dink team. The Jaguars are in the first 4 weeks too. Like it's just some teams we could really easily beat. So we could be one of those teams that starts off hot and fizzles out a little bit. But essentially, I think, bro, we have the pieces around Jalen Hurts for him to succeed. So it all comes down to him. We're good in the trenches on both sides. We've made a couple of signings in the offseason. AJ Brown, obviously the big one, but there's a couple of smaller guys like Kaiser White, linebacker from the Chargers. And then we got Hassan Reddick, I think, or one of the Hassans.
Yeah.
I forget his last name, but it's either Ridgeway or Reddick. But we're nasty in the trenches, man. That's the one thing I can say is that we're going to give some O-line some trouble, and we're going to give some D-lines, some holding back as well. But I think it'll be very dynamic. It just comes down to Jalen Hurts. And I think we can make the playoffs. I think we could do better than the Cowboys. I really do.
I hope so.
Me too. I think we all do for the most part.
I've always enjoyed watching the Eagles.
Yeah.
Andy Reid coming to the Chiefs and all that. And I was
Dude, I gotta love Andy Reid.
Yeah, I think about every Eagles fan probably loves Andy Reid.
You gotta mad respect. It was weird when they fired him. I was like, really? I never thought it was gonna come to an end. He always put up good numbers and stuff. He's a great coach.
Yeah.
Colton, how do you think the Chiefs are gonna do with you guys losing Tyreek?
As everybody says, one player doesn't make a team. And
yeah.
We picked up some really good rookies this year. I haven't actually looked at our 53 men yet.
Well, you guys got Juju too, don't you?
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of money makers for him to throw the ball to. So, but I think our run game's going to be just as good.
You guys got all the pieces. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, man. I think it is the craziest offseason I remember in NFL ever. Truthfully.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So many team changes.
Yeah. Colton?
No, man, you guys actually just took the two questions. Are the Eagles finally going to win that crap division they call the NFC East with a record that's better than 500? And
I think so.
I think so too. I think you guys are built for it. I think Hurts, this is kind of his coming out year.
He's such a leader, man. He's just one of those guys you want to win because he's such a he just got this swagger to him that's like he has that fire in his heart. He's got that Kobe mentality and the whole locker room likes him. That's the big thing about Carson Wentz that always, I was a Carson Wentz writer for a long time, but it always seemed like the locker room wasn't on his side. I just don't think he was able to. He came from a Division II college. I don't think he was able to come in there and take over all these. Everybody has an ego in the NFL. I don't think he was able to deal with people with an ego. Jalen Hurts was built for that. He would play to Alabama and transferred,
his college career. I mean, he went to Oklahoma and thrived, and then he got benched because they just brought someone in better than him, and then he goes to Alabama, sits, and then
shit.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a guy that says, "Hey, get on my back and let's go do this," and he'll carry anybody. So I think you got a good one with Hurts. It's obviously health is the big key in the NFL.
Yeah,
and I think if he does that, I think you guys are going to be set.
Here's the other thing too: is if he doesn't do good, man, or gets hurt, we got a good backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew, and I think that he had a small sample size last year, but when he came in, man, he almost took Hurts' spot because he was playing so good. Obviously, Hurts came back in and started balling out too, but Gardner Minshew has impressed me with his play.
Yeah, Minshew. I don't know if he can lead your guys this season, but I think he can get you through about a 4 to 6 game skid of of maintaining.
I agree. That's kind of how I feel. Like I don't know if he'd be the leader to step up or whatever, but I think that he could do some things. So we'll see.
Yeah, and then I was going to ask you about Andy Reid. What's your thoughts? Is there? I'm assuming there's a love there for Andy Reid, but just to go and see
Yeah.
what he's done with the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you think it was just one of the times that it was the Eagles' time to move on from the Reid experience,
Yeah. Oh,
or
that's exactly it right there. It was just one of
yeah,
those things that was like a lot of Eagles fans used to always talk about how he had that they thought he had Marvin Lewis syndrome where like, oh, you can get us to the playoffs, but like you can't get
he
us any
can't
further.
win the big game?
And people really thought that for a long time. And Eagles fan base is probably one of the hardest fan bases to deal with in the sense we're like, like we booed fucking Santa Claus. Like, so
Yeah.
like they're dickheads. So I just think it was time to move on. He's probably a little bit sick of it too. And like, it's a lot of people pushing him out where it was that in the middle of, I think that was when he got pushed out was right when we were getting rid of Michael Vick and like we were kind of in a limbo. It was like the Kevin Cobb era, like that, those 1 to 2 seasons were like, nobody knew what the fuck was really going on. So I feel like that was the perfect time for him to leave and stuff, and it was, we were ready. We had to have the Chip Kelly. I hate to say it, but we had to have the Chip Kelly nightmare to have the
Oh
Doug
yeah,
Peterson
you
Super Bowl.
did.
So like when Chip Kelly came in for about a month, I was like, this might be genius. And then very quickly, once he started trading away all my favorite players, he traded LaShawn McCoy for
Yeah.
Kiko Alonso, and that fucking destroyed me. And then cut Deshaun Jackson because he didn't like his attitude. Oh, and Deshaun Jackson is my favorite Eagle of all time. So that one really hurt.
I can see that.
Yeah. So that one really hurt. But at the same time, we would have never gotten to. We had to go through that nightmare to get Dougie P and like win that Super Bowl. That would have never happened without Chip Kelly's catastrophe.
I've been living a nightmare since '85, and I haven't been alive since '85.
I'm looking at your hat. I'm wondering. That was my next question.
Yeah.
How's Fields gonna do? I actually got. Wait, who do the Bears play first week? You guys play somebody pretty good, don't you?
49ers, yeah. We play the 49ers.
Yeah. We'll see. My buddy down here is a big Bears fan, and he is talking about because they're giving you guys they're giving the Niners like 9 points on the spread.
Oh, it's a crazy spread.
Yeah, he was gonna put down 1,000 on the spread, just to say the Bears would cover the spread. It's like it's not quite a bad bet. I actually watched the Bears' first game last year. I was at the game. They played the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at that game, and we looked at each other because my buddy was, and we were pissed drunk, and we looked at each other and we were like, either the Bears suck or this Rams team might go all the way, and they did.
Yes, you both were right.
Yeah. But then again, it all comes down to Fields. You guys need some receiver help, but you guys had help in the trenches. No.
Yeah, we did a good job in the draft and in the offseason of acquiring offensive linemen, which is what we need for Fields.
You guys got that Leatherwood too that got cut, didn't you?
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it was 1 year and he got cut from the Raiders, but I don't really trust the Raiders organization, so I'm thinking
That's what I mean. Yeah,
I'm really hoping they screwed up.
Well, he was a dog in college. That's
he was nasty. He was nasty. So I'm excited, but you're right with our receivers.
Yeah, you guys need some.
With our receivers, we've got all number 2 receivers. We don't have a number 1. And Darnell Mooney's a nice receiver, but he's not a number 1.
I agree.
I've got this thing with my favorite teams. It seems like all my best players are under 6 foot, and that's just not going to get it through.
Yeah, not usually, unless you're Antonio Brown in his prime. He somehow was. He was a freak, man. People forget how good he was, but because there were so many questions about him being a number 1 receiver because he's short, and it's like, can he play the outside? And he did it. He was just more athletic than everybody.
He was before his time for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think Cole Kmet will have a good year though.
I'm real big on Kmet, and I really like I really think Montgomery's gonna have like 1,000 yards rushing and 750 receiving. I think they're gonna ride him a lot with a lot of play action and boot action and screens.
Really? Who's your guys' number 2 back? You guys still have Cohen?
Who?
Tariq Cohen.
No, we actually released him. He's been dealing with some personal stuff, and his body kept breaking down.
I about to say, yeah, I know he's been hurt past couple seasons.
Yeah. His last name's Herbert is all I know. I want to say Khalil Herbert. He's a real nice backup running back. He's like Montgomery, just shorter and more physical.
Okay.
So and we're set in the running back position, I think, for like the next 2 or 3 years under contract. So
yeah.
I'd like to do something now, but I mean, if we can keep Fields upright or in designed runs, not just running for his life, I think we'll be just fine. But
I can see that. That was the big thing last year. Is he just had no O-line. Now that you guys helped that, I think it'll be better.
So yeah, really, what the big problem was that our head coach, the infinite knowledge that he has, which was Matt Nagy, who sucks, by the way.
I don't know how he lasted so long.
He threw in Fields against the Cleveland Browns, a solid team, and he said, "Hey Fields, why don't you go figure it out and don't get your brain busted?" Like, I hated that. I wish they would have waited 3/4 of the season, ride the wave of the Nick Foles experience.
I didn't understand why they threw him in so fast either. I felt the same way.
Bears management. The only good news that the Bears have going for them is that their president and CEO is retiring after this season, after 40 years of hell.
That's pretty
through. So
it's pretty funny, actually.
Oh gosh,
right
on. Through one more.
Let's get Colton off the Bears because he'll go all day about the Bears, man.
The Bears.
The Bears.
And Connor, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you got to go back to work.
Yeah.
I do have a question. We ask all of our guests here on the podcast a question from a previous episode, one of our subjects that we've talked about. So I want you to give me your top 3 favorite sports films.
Wow, that's a good one. All right, my number 1 by default, just because I grew up on it, Sandlot.
Nice.
Yep.
Number 2. Oof. I wonder if I should I'm trying to think if I should put a funny one in there too, because I'm like, I really love. Okay, I'm gonna do another baseball movie. This is a sleeper, but 61. It's about Roger Maris.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorites. I'm not a Yankees fan by any means, but it's a pretty cool story. Remember the Titans.
Oh, solid.
Those are good. Good 3 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones. And then there's, I obviously was thinking about The Longest Yard, The Water Boy. So have you seen The Water Boy, right?
Oh, about 500 times.
Do you know Vicky Valancourt?
Yeah.
She lives under me. We're friends.
No way.
Oh my gosh.
She literally lives on, I see her every day. She's like the sweetest lady ever. Super cool.
You know the only question you gotta ask.
What?
She show you them boobies?
No. I like Vicky. Dude, shit's funny because she's such a sweet lady. She just likes cats and gardening, and you would never you know what I mean? It's just so just funny.
That's insane. That is crazy.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
You want to plug your socials?
Yeah, just at Conrad is me on anything. I think my TikTok is Conrad Knows, KNOWS. I don't really use TikTok that much, but if you want it, there you go. I'll post on there some shit. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys having me on here. I can't wait for it to come out. I feel like we had a lot of good natural conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
do want you to know I made a TikTok way back. Oh gosh, I don't know when, but I did use one of your songs in it. So
that's fine.
didn't get anything, but
I don't care. That's cool. That's cool.
Man, CJ, Connor, Conrad, whatever you want me to call you. Dude, thank you for taking the time.
I appreciate you guys, man. Dude, thank you so much. Everything was really cool. I hope to see you guys again on here.
Yeah, and I will come see you. Be here now if you're back.
All right. Yeah, I will let you know. I'll be back from September 28th to January 3rd or 4th, and then I'll come back for Christmas too. So I'll probably catch up at some point.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Connor, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Catch you guys later, man.
Yeah.
Have a good time. Yeah. Enjoy Indiana.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
Later.
Dude,
he's awesome.
He's so fun. I swear he is. He's just a blast of a person.
I see that, man. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and such a good conversationalist too, on top of
oh yeah.
I always was able to carry a conversation with him, no matter what it was. Like we could just talk, and we spent hours in a studio setting up for bands, and like, yeah, he's just a fun, cool guy, down to earth, hilarious. Oh man, maybe me and you will both have to make a trip down to Muncie to see him at Be Here Now.
Oh, for sure. I think it'd be great to see live.
Yeah. I will give his socials again. You can find him on Instagram and Twitter under @ConradIsMe. Facebook at facebook.com/ConradJon765. And you can find him on Spotify. He's got all his music. Like you said, his Atomic Sunday drops, does some good music. He's got tons of good albums out there. Breakfast for Dinners is really good. Go listen to Do This For Me. It's a really good song. Flash Flash. He's got some really good music out there. I really wish we had more of a viewership, because I would love to see him, blow up out there in Hollywood, because his music's good. It's catchy. Everything about him. He's just a great human in general. So, yeah, go check him out. You can also look at his link tree. It's linktr.ee/ConradIsMe. You can find all of the links to all of his albums, Spotify, and his social medias on there too. So
sweet. I hope he goes, man. He seems like a good dude.
Dude, in his football knowledge, he needs to be on the Chiefs Fans podcast. Any fan of Andy Reid can come on the Chiefs Fans podcast. Just saying.
There you go. That's fair enough.
Colton, do you have anything else you want to add before we close this out?
Man, that was awesome. Like I said, real cool dude. Just like to pick his brain more. I mean, like I said, I've always been able to want to do that and be able to just sit there and flow like that, but I just can't. My brain can't put those connections together, and I'm like, and then it goes.
I got that whole driving in the car freestyle thing, and it's so funny because you can tell Sarah's annoyed when I do it, but I do it to pass the time. Like it's too quiet in the car. I'm like throwing a freestyle beat on YouTube, just going at it, or any song that's playing on the radio. Really
nice.
And I've listened to so much of his music, like I feel like I know most of the lyrics to all of his songs. So
nice.
Almost 5 years of listening to him is like, it's a lot, and he is good. So everybody, we want to thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also find us on all your favorite social media accounts, whether that be Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at The Call Guys, and TikTok at The Call Guys Podcast. You can also watch us on YouTube if you want to see the interview we've had here with Conrad Jon. You can go check that out. You can just search us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Click the bell. That way you get notifications every time we put up a video, and we put them up weekly. They air the same day that the podcast goes up on all your favorite streaming sites. You can also send us recommendations for the question of the podcast, or even what we should talk about in future episodes. Send those recommendations to thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to say hi, send us your top 5s, top 3s, top 10s, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. And you can also check out our merch store. That is thecallguyspodcaststore.com. Plenty of shirts and tank tops, and that's about it. So go check it out. Support us. Wear a shirt. Colton will sign you. And when you're done with the Call Guys podcast, go listen to Conrad Jon. First of all, pull up Conrad Jon on your Spotify. Check him out. Listen to some music. Vibe with him. Just good stuff. And then when you're done listening to Conrad Jon, you'll never be able to have enough of him. But when you're done listening to Conrad Jon, go check out all the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment umbrella. You can check out the Golden Image Podcast at facebook.com/Golden Image Podcast, the Murdnerds at facebook.com/Murdnerds, the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast at facebook.com/IN Chiefs Fans Pod, and the United States of Paranormal Podcast at facebook.com/the United States of Paranormal. Colton,
brother,
that was a blast.
That was good.
Thank you. I know you were like, oh, man, I'm just taking this in. This is fun.
Yeah,
Like,
I felt like you.
Yeah. I do that quite a bit, but no, thanks for being my partner. Thanks for being here with me. I've had a blast. 27 episodes we've been doing this, and
I know, man.
I'm ready to keep on going and keep on having fun. Hopefully get some more interviews like this.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Everybody out there in podcast land, I want to thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. We'll see you next time. Man, that might have been the best outro I've done in a while.
I know, man. You killed that thing.